Okay, let me continue here. Let's get into now section the controversial section 230, and I'm gonna explain it that way you guys understand. That way you guys understand what section 230 is all about. Section 230 is a protection the government has for these social media platforms to not get sued by anybody, right? I find let me give an example. I find some type of a health cure on Twitter, Facebook, or something like that. I go do it. Happens that I lose my vision. I'm not able to sue Facebook because it was on their platform, which makes perfect sense. That's what Section 230 protects. No problem. Now, let me give you an example that way you guys understand. Let's say I open up a business. That business is a restaurant. Very nice restaurant. Everybody loves to go there. It's nice, good food, good servers. The mafia, listen, the mafia decides to start visiting my restaurant, not to extort me or anything like that. They just love the food. They like it. They go in there every week. They do their business in my restaurant. They talk out their plans, their crimes, all that stuff. They go out, commit their hits. They do whatever they want. Their businesses, their extortion, all that stuff. Turns out that they go down. They go to jail. Turns out that they were doing some of uh some the things that they get arrested for. They planned it out in my restaurant. Should I be held accountable for that? So my restaurant be held accountable for what people are doing in my restaurant, the plans that they're doing. Should my business be held accountable for what people do outside of my restaurant? All you logical people will be like, no, Valentine. That is section 230. Section 230 is not holding the platforms themselves accountable for what any of these users, thousands, millions of users, are doing on the platforms themselves. What makes perfect sense. It's illogical for me to go and sue Twitter for something that I saw on Twitter. It's illogical for me to go and sue Facebook for something that I saw on Facebook. It's just illogical. Section 230 protects these platforms. And I think if they get away from Section 230, I think it will even be worse. More censorship. Why? Because they're trying to stop any type of lawsuits coming to this. So it will be worse. I actually personally, I changed my mind on Section 230. I have tweeted or I have probably said I think Section 230 has to go. Section 230 has to be banned. No, it should not be banned because the time that a a a conservative platform comes along and something happens, some information was on there for some user, the platform should not be held responsible for whatever the user did. Plain and simple. That's what Section 230 protects. Protects that me as a restaurant owner from whatever the mafia does and plans outside of my restaurant. It protects these platforms for any other stuff that any of these users might do. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, point number 3, right? Conservatives who are capitalists, and for the people that are here, thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button, hit that share button. None of you guys are chatting, man. You guys are scared. You guys think that I bite? I don't bite, guys. I don't bite. Hit that like button if this is your first time here on the channel. We're talking about all these different things, guys. We're talking about all the craziness that's been going on with the hypocrisy of Twitter banning people, but it's their right to do that, and social media banning people. It's their right to do that, and platforms banning straight up websites completely. It's their right to do that. Also, social media is not a human right. Twitter is not a human right. Twitter is not a human right, guys. Like we were great before Twitter. So what we didn't have no social media. So what is the problem? Let's continue here to what I was started to talk about. The whole conservative capitalist so worried about Twitter. Yo, Twitter is silencing people. And no, guys, there's things bound to come up if Twitter starts doing this and starts censoring people, people are just bound to leave Twitter. They might be just digging their own hole by censoring people. There's a lot of people that want to be able to express themselves the way they see fit. Let's talk about this. Let's get into economic terms regarding these things, right? Like, if these people don't adapt to the times, they're just gonna go under. Just look what happened with who? Blockbuster.